and it brings me no joy to say this. I wish that in a circumstance like this, I would be able to concede to a worthy opponent. But I do not have a worthy opponent to which I can concede. This was the most deeply deceitful, dishonorable, despicable campaign I have ever seen run for the courts. It was truly beneath contempt. Now, I say this not because we did not prevail. I do not say this because of the rancid slanders that were launched against me, although that was bad enough. But that is not my concern. My concern is the damage done to the institution of the courts.
Yes.
The damage to the courts, because I'm not on it. Sound like a very humble person to me. That's former Wisconsin Supreme Court Justice Dan Kelly, and he was trying to get back in, and he lost to his opponent, Janet Protasiewicz. And she's now Justice-elect there in Wisconsin, which is going to flip the power of this court 4-3 in favor of libs. And that's actually why he's so mad. Let's take a look at who Janet really is.
I'm going for Judge Janet Protasiewicz.
Judge Janet Protasiewicz.
Janet Protasiewicz for Supreme Court.
Protasiewicz.
I'm Judge Janet Protasiewicz.
You guys didn't have to tell me. I said it right. Protasiewicz. As a matter of fact, let's call her Barbie, because look at this style tweet that they put out after she had won. Meet Janet. She's Wisconsin Supreme Court Justice elect. Yes, the Barbie movie themes are now floating everywhere. So she's a woman of the people. Still, though, let's go back to Dan Kelly and his bitterness, because this is really tasty. Let's watch more.
My opponent is a serial liar.
Yes.
She's disregarded judicial ethics. She's demeaned the judiciary with her behavior. And this is the future that we have to look forward to in Wisconsin. I've been committed to the rule of law my entire career. I understand this to be the most fundamental, basic promise of civilization. And in its heart, it lives in the judiciary, and if not there, nowhere at all. We've had this laid out plainly for us. We could have the rule of law or the rule of Janet. And the people of Wisconsin have chosen the rule of Janet.
I guess that's the beginning and that's the end, Dan. They've chosen someone instead of you. I guess they have. You can be bitter. It's a free country for now. You can have salt all you want. It's fine. But the people have spoken, and this is the response from losers, Trey.
Yeah, no, I mean, this is how low the bar has gotten in this country. Is that I genuinely, part of my initial reaction to this was like, well, I mean, at least he's admitting he lost, like at least he's not
progress.
Yeah, right. Like at least he's not trying to claim that he secretly won and it was stolen from him. Like that's something. I'll take that in this instance, because, as long as he admits he lost, that means at some point he will eventually go away. Also, everything they ever say makes me feel very like I am rubber, you are gluey. You know what I mean? Like it just, they always sounds like they're talking about themselves to me when they start denigrating Democrats with like deceit and dishonor and dismissing the, ethics and all this type of stuff. It's just, I don't know. It all seems made up at times. But yeah, I mean, like you said, that's another thing I was going to say is like he got there at the end. I felt like when the people of Wisconsin have chosen Janet, and it's like, yeah, they have. And that's supposed to be how it works. Like feels like it wasn't too long ago when a person in this position would get up there and be like, I love this state. I love the people of this state. And if this be the will of those people, then so be it. I support my, whatever. Like that used to be, the standard or whatever. And now it's this, which is a shame. But like I said, at least he didn't say it was stolen. So
You mean it used to be a little bit of honor in defeat? Stuff
Yeah,
that we
right.
like to teach our children. In fact, there's been that whole talk back and forth between LSU and women's basketball team versus Iowa and sportsmanship. It's all thrown out the window, apparently, in our politics. Can I take as why he's so pissed off? Why he's so mad? And why, actually, what he said when he walked off was the people of this state are going to get what they deserve.
Yeah.
I guess that's more of the opposite of what you were talking about. This is what's wrong. Let's
Yes.
look at the graphic, too. The liberal, as they pointed out, Protasiewicz, wins Wisconsin court race in victory for abortion rights backers. That's the problem. As they pointed out, this highly consequential contest for this particular one, that's one of the issues that they're battling over, as well as some of these gerrymandered districts that, of course, continue to favor Republicans no matter what the outcome is in these elections, which is why this one was so big, because this outcome makes things potentially a little more fair. And by the way, you talk about how they dismiss voters, and when he talks all this trash and you feel like, yo, you're kind of talking about me because I share some of these values, this is what they're still missing, Trey. Let's take a look at this last SOT here, because these are folks that lined up to vote in this particular election, and this is what Republicans don't want. That's why you see voting rights laws coming into place, specifically against minorities and young folks. Watch.
Thank you for voting. Thank you for voting. Thank you for voting.
Trey, before we came on, we talked about our kids and how we're always looking out for them, especially when it comes to all the violence we're seeing on the streets, and they're getting older. So if you think these 16, 17, 18-year-olds that are just about to be voting versus the 18 to the 25 that are voting and are knowing what's going on, all they can try and do is suppress, because they're definitely not appealing to them.
Absolutely. I mean, that right there is the only thing that allows me to keep sleeping at night, honestly. It's like we were talking before the show started about, I'm from Tennessee, all the stuff that's been going on in Tennessee. And I said, I was heartened by all the young people from Tennessee who've been taken to the streets in protest in the last couple of weeks. And I look at that and I see the next generation of people from my home state, and it gives me some semblance of hope, So thank God for them. I will say feels like they shouldn't have to stand in that long of a line to vote, ideally. But still, I'm glad they're there. And then the abortion rights thing is a huge part of it, but the gerrymandered part also is going to be huge, because I don't have the exact numbers in front of me. I'm number dumb. I'm bad with them, but they're basically, Wisconsin should be a fully blue state in terms of numbers, but the way it's gerrymandered, the Republicans at the state level have like a 70-30 supermajority or something, just because of the way the maps are drawn. And this should also hopefully end that, so it would have like mass sweeping impacts on that state, which is like a key battleground state now. So pretty huge in a lot of ways.
And many of those folks who found themselves in that 70-30, 60-40, whatever that majority is, they'll see a little bit more equality as an infringement on their power, which they'll see as completely unfair. Some shades of Donald Trump there, having to deal with the judicial system that regular folks have to deal with.